about Greg Slate?
Yeah, I guess I was looking for some advice. My niece had been a tenant in his house on Kilbourne, and I've never met him in my life, and she moved out there a year ago. He came by on Saturday and asked for her phone number, and I said, well, I gave him her email address, and he just went nuts and, started cursing and threatening, and then later in the day, there were a couple of strange phone calls, and then we got like 2 food deliveries for things we didn't order, but people obviously had our phone number. Okay, well, so this, his response was completely, inappropriate. I said, you and my niece are adults. This is between you. I've never met you in my life, and he just, he said, oh well, she visits you all the time, which actually she visited 2 weeks ago for the first time in a year, and that he must have found out somehow. Well, he had at the time, this was like at the end of 2007, I think. So, and then she moved out of there, I think early 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess she left. What she said is that she tried to advertise for someone to take her room, and he got upset because he didn't want any advertisements about this place because he was supposed to be undercover or something like that. And so he thinks that she owes him money, and that's may or may not be. I somehow doubt it, but in any event, it doesn't matter to me. What matters is that this bizarre person lives several blocks away. So we went to the police, and they explained that there's nothing that they really could do unless there's a threat of physical harm, and they suggested getting a restraining order. In the meantime, in Mount Pleasant, where we live, there's a community policing, and you can call an officer up, and I did. And he went over, and he and the sergeant, he said, had a little chat with Greg, and he said that Greg was angry and agitated, were his words, and he said that I'd called him up 4 times, which is, that policeman also suggested maybe getting a restraining order. I went down and basically signed up for it, and it needs to be, the summons needs to be served. I learned about the process, and I guess I'm sort of wondering, we haven't heard from him for a few days. I'm wondering maybe it's better to leave him alone, or would it be better to just go ahead and do this?